Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack, this is Jthbooks, and it's time for the reading vlog where I read the book you voted for. It's time to start the vote book, it's time to start the vote book. I don't know why I sang then. So, it's time to start the book that you voted for. We had a great reading month in October, didn't we? We're struggling a bit. At the time of filming this, we're struggling a bit because, you know, there's nothing like a terrible election to kill the reading vibes, to kill everything really. It didn't go the way we wanted, did it? The US election. I'm even a bit concerned to talk about it because I don't want to bring anyone sort of right back to it. But it did not go the way it went, did it? I don't see. I just even hate talking about it because it breaks my heart. I don't understand how hate keeps winning, and I don't understand how a country can love its ideals more than the people that make the country what it is. I don't understand how a convicted felon can be chosen over a qualified woman. I don't get it. I don't. I hate to see hate win. I hate it. I absolutely hate it, and I'm just sorry. I'm just really sorry for everyone who is so affected by it. But what I do know is we have each other. And I really mean that. I mean that. I hope you have someone in your lives that you can just squeeze their hand and they can squeeze yours, and you know you've got someone. Whether it's a friend, whether it's a partner, whether it's a family member, just so you know they've got their back. I remember when I found out the results, I was watching it at 3 a.m. here, and it was going terribly. And I was staying around my friends the next night for her birthday, and I just wanted to be there then. I wanted to be in the company of someone who would love me and would be there for me and just make me feel good. And I hope you have that. And, you know, here too, on this channel, we have each other without being sort of like overly sentimental, but we do. We have a little community here. We can all chat in the comments, you know. We've just, you know, we've got each other's backs. And I really mean that. I really, really do mean that. You know, you can always chat to me and we'll get through it together. And you have to sort of have hope that, you know, we can come out stronger, and we know how important it is to vote, and vote for people that are qualified, and vote for people less fortunate than ourselves, you know, well, yeah, I don't know what else to say really, but I hope you're all doing okay, and, you know, we can still see the good in the people that we love. We have to. It's the only way we're going to get through it. But now let's talk about the vote. Not that vote, this vote. Let's talk about the good vote. This is, you know, let's hope this one is fine. We had the choice between Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell or Her Majesty's Royal Covenant by Juno Dawson. And the winner was, you'll already know because of the thingy, it was Her Majesty's Royal Covenant by Juno Dawson, which I think is a very fitting book to win. A book by a trans author, a book that celebrates minorities and inclusion. So I think made a good choice. And it's part of my 24 books for 2024. You, my friends, have really helped me with that. You know, you've given me a few to read. So I'm eternally grateful to you for not making me a failure. But let's remind ourselves what it's about. We'll start it together, and then I'll check in with you when, you know, I've actually read some of it, which who knows when that could be. Hidden among us is a secret coven of witches. Known as Her Majesty's Royal Coven, they protect the crown and country from magical forces and otherworldly evil, but their greatest enemy will come from within. There are whisperings of a prophecy that will bring the coven to its knees, and four best friends are about to be caught at the centre. Will Helena, Nima, Leonie and Elle be able to stop the prophecy before it's too late, or will the differences that have seen them grow apart since childhood be too great to overcome? Life as a modern witch was never simple, and now it's about to get apocalyptic. Not the apocalypse, not after what we've just been through. let's start it together. Let's find out. This is sort of my first full-length Juno Dawson book. Obviously, I read Queen Bee, the novella, the prequel to this, but let's find out. 25 years earlier, the night before the summer solstice, 5 girls hid in a treehouse. The shack, much too nice to call a shack, was sturdy enough, cradled in the arthritic branches of 300-year-old oak. Below, in Vance Hall, preparations for tomorrow's festivities were finalised. It was more an excuse for the grown-ups to fetch up the dustier wines from the cellar 2 days in a row than it was planning a meeting. Their elders, quite some way past tipsy, truthfully hadn't noticed the girls were absent. Up in the tree, the youngest of the girls, Leonie, was upset because the eldest, Helena, said she couldn't marry Stephen Gately from Boyzone. I'm not playing, Leonie said. Stephen Gately. A lot of girls wanted to marry Stephen Gately, and he did not play for their team, shall we say? Okay. So there's a little bit of British humour there. Yes, I will check in with you a bit more when I've read some, and we've got this. We've got this together. I'll check in with you soon. Good morning. Yes, I'm sitting on a table. That's just the way it goes. But I read this book, some of it, not all of it. Did I just mislead you a little bit there? Sorry. I got to page 135, chapter 15. So, in this, we are following 4 witches, and one of them is the head of the HMRC, Her Majesty's Royal Coven, which is a big organisation. Then we have Nima, who has left that and sort of takes a more sort of earthly, natural approach to witchcraft. Then we have Elle, who just sort of ignores being a witch, married to a non-magical man. And then we have Leonie, who has broken off from that coven, moved down to London and started her own coven, which has caused fractions in the friendship and everything like that. But there was a war 8 years ago. 2 of them lost their partners. Nima and Helena both lost their husbands in this war. And they've just caught sort of the final person from it. But now there has been a prophecy of sort of a young teenage boy who's going to be worse, who's going to cause more death and destruction than they can imagine. And they've captured him, but now Nima has sort of taken him to her house to live in the countryside to try and teach him how to harness his powers instead of treating him like a criminal. And that's basically where I got up to. At the beginning, it certainly took me a while to get into it and figure out who was who and how it was just working and to get to know each character. But 135 pages in, I'm in it. I'm really enjoying it. It's really fun. It's got some really great... Sorry, the camera shook then. I had to rest up my knee because my arm was getting tired. It's got some really great messages. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's quite more... that was terrible. It's more adult than I assumed. I don't know why. In my mind, maybe I was thinking it was a bit more young adult. But no, they're very much adults. They've got teenagers, for goodness sake. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I like that each character is very different. Like now I know which one I'm reading immediately. And you got to learn about sort of the witches, their god, and but then you also learn that was just a very sort of Western white view of it. And then when we go to Leonie's perspective, who lives in London, has broke off from the coven, she's black, and she tells history, the history of witchcraft that has been ignored by the white Western world, which is often the case in history, isn't it? It's the tradition of oral storytelling being classed as history has often been overlooked in minority communities, but we're learning now that is not the case. The only view is not the white Western world view. We know that now. But yeah, so I thought that was really interesting. Really gave it some depth, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it all goes and how they all get back together and if they can stop this sort of great prophecy coming. I'm really, really invested. It did make me laugh once. Talked a lot about Boyzone. I can't remember how it made me laugh, but it did make me laugh. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But now it's 7:30. I've got to go to work. If this is a bit bright, I'm sorry, there's a light right in front of me, but it's so dark these days. winter was here. Do you know, we've had like 3 hours of sun in the last 11 days. I heard it on the news. Well, actually, I didn't hear it on the news. A man who I work with listens to the news, and he told me about it 6 times in one day. That's not even a lie. I'm not lying. Right, I'm going to go work. I'll catch up with you when I've read some more. Good morning, friends. How are you? How is everyone? Let me know. Talk to me in the comments. Oh, look at me begging already, and it's 7:30 in the morning. But I managed to read another 100 pages of Her Majesty's Royal Coven last night. I'm still very much enjoying it. Let me get you up to speed. On the witchy witches. So we've got like a little backstory of like the war and how Nima and Helena lost their partners, and it's, you know, of course it's sad. It's very sad. And Nima's twin sister was actually on the bad side, and she was sort of one of the last ones to be captured, really. And that sort of ended the war. But now she is in prison, and Nima's debating whether to go see her. I would say, really, here Nima is the main character. We get most chapters from her, which is, I have no problem with that. I like her, and I don't know what I was going to say now, because I was thinking how much I liked Nima. How ridiculous. I'm back. I remembered. I kind of haven't, but so what is wrong with me? It's too early. I'm really tired at the minute. I'm really tired all the time. I don't think something's right. And the cold's here, and I've got like dry lips, and I've got a spot on the side of my cheek. Can you see that? That is so unbelievably painful. I shouldn't be getting spots in my 30s. You know, there's got to be a cut-off point. Where I can be like, okay, I can have clear skin now, surely. Still haven't talked about what I was going to talk about, because I still can't remember. I do remember this time, I promise. I'm like a solemn vow to you, I promise. So Nima is still training Theo. She's also training Holly, which is Elle's daughter. I might have mentioned that already. But she is now training Snow, which is Helena's daughter. But Helena is actually just sending Snow on there to spy on them, because Helena very much still feels like Theo is trouble, and he's not going to be the new Leviathan. I got it wrong. He's going to be like, work with the Leviathan. The Leviathan is like the ultimate demon. It's what I'm gathering. So Theo is still very much overwhelmed by their powers, and, you know, doesn't speak. But they have confessed to Holly telepathically. They can do it telepathically, that they are trans. So they think that's why I want to use she, her pronouns from now on for Theo. She is so powerful and sort of so frightened because she doesn't understand herself. And also, you know, warlocks, male witches, don't get past level 3. But Theo, she's way above that. So that explains all that. And the girls had a night out, all 4 of them, all 4 of the original gang. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to see them rekindle their friendship. And it was really fun. But it was a ruse, friends. It was a ruse. Helena and the HMRC kidnapped Theo. And that's where I left it off. So I left it on a cliffhanger with myself, which means I'm going to think about this all day at work. I'm going to just want to read it as soon as I get home. So that's always a good thing, isn't it? That's always a good thing. But yeah, I'm still really, really enjoying this. I think it's really fun, but it's also really sort of serious. Does that make sense? It's not like taking the piss or anything. It's just a really enjoyable read. I really love the magic in it. It's not all spells and, you know, abracadabra. It's very much, you know, it's connected to nature, and one of them is like a healer, and if she uses it too much, she like lays down in the grass and gets connected to nature again. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm loving it, actually, and I think it's going to be a struggle for me not to pick up the next one straight away. But I'm not going to do that, because I'm going to stick to my TBR. When have I ever? But yeah, just it's super, super enjoyable. I'm so glad you all picked this. Like I said, 24 of 24. So, friends, you really know how to look after me. You always have done. You always have looked after me. I will speak to you when I've read some more. Should we go for another 100 pages today? I think so. Let's go for another 100 pages, because that cliffhanger. Oh, love it. It's so, so good. It feels really believable and really plausible. Like, I'm also looking around like, could they be a witch? Could they? It just feels like, yeah, this could actually be real. Well, and if you are a witch, hi, welcome, I guess. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Good morning. Here we are again on the table. Apparently I just live on this table now, but it's the next day. And I finished the book. I can't believe sort of how quickly I read this. So we left off, didn't we? Helena, I'm going to call Helena, had stolen Theo. And Nima, she got her back. I'll put it simply. She got her back, and sort of it all just goes a bit wrong after that, really. I'm going to try and tell you not too much, because I think I've left enough out of this book for you to still read it and enjoy it if you haven't. I think there are still surprises along the way for you. But essentially, Helena, why do I keep doing that all of a sudden? I wonder what I called her before in previous clips. She believes she is doing the right thing. She believes everything she's doing for the greater good of the Coven. And they have Hale, the man who started the war before that they defeated. They have him in a high security prison, and she goes to talk to him and essentially decides to summon the demon that he summoned to start the war. She decides to summon it so that can possess her and she become all-powerful, kill Theo, who is the Sully child, and stop the Leviathan from rising. And I'm going to leave it there, friends. I'm going to leave it there. If you want to know more, you're going to have to read it. But I really enjoyed this. I've given it 4 stars. I think maybe there was a little bit of a time I was like, this is a bit long. But other than that, I really loved it. I think it's got some great messages. I really liked sort of the juxtaposition between the friends and how Nima thinks she's doing things for the greater good, and so does Helena. I think that's really, really interesting. The last section, which I haven't told you much about, is really action-packed. It's really page-turnery. It feels quite high stakes. It feels very cinematic. And the ending, didn't see it coming. Maybe some people did. I did not. So that shocked me. I could pick up the second one right now. I'm not going to pick up the second one right now because the second one is quite long. But it's just a really enjoyable book. Like I said, it somehow managed to get these great messages in without it being preachy or overbearing. It's hard to read at times because Helena's views do not align with my own. Very much the opposite. And that's sort of hard to take. But I just thought it was a really good ride. Like I said, a little bit long. Sorry, Juno. But I would definitely pick up the second one. I'll be buying the third one when it comes out next year. I just really thought it was a good book. It was a good book. And, you know, sort of spooky. Does November still count as spooky? Because you give me 2 Witches ones in a row. The vote went out for December's on Monday. So go check that out. I'll link it down below. I'll leave it linked down below, and then you can see if there's no witchy. It's not witchy, so you can't have it. But yeah, it's super enjoyable, really page turning. I think it'd be like a great series. It delves into some great things. I remember saying to you, I thought like all the girls' friendship was going to sort of come back together. I think it went beyond that. Like if you read it, you'll know. I think there was sort of no coming back for Helena, really. I couldn't forgive her, but, you know, they might be able to. Who knows? Maybe they're nicer people than I am. But you've done well again. And you got one for my 24 books to 2024. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You've always got my back. I really mean this. You really do. But I will say, listen to this book. No, it didn't work. It really creaks. Let me see if I can do it. No, fail. Ignore that. I'm going to end it there. I'll end it there on the embarrassing note. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for voting. Go vote for December's. Let me know if you read this. Let me know if you love it. If you didn't like it, let me know if you read the second one. I hit myself in the face with it. I'm going to speak to you all really, really soon. Feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.